What's going on, Jeromes? So the NFL draft is mercifully upon us tomorrow, and ESPN's NFL Nation. So all of the beat writers for ESPN, all 32 teams, they get together every year and do up a mock draft, and a little bit spicy for this one. I'm mad at it all. Of course, Kevin Seifert, ESPN, who is not Carl Gerbschmidt. Again, who's not Carl Gerbschmidt. Of course, he's the Vikings beat writer for the worldwide leader, and he did the damn thing for the Vikings. So diving on into the picks, legend Courtney Cronin going with Caleb Williams at 1. Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty safe bet. John Keim in the commies going with Jaden Daniels. Now, what's interesting is that all these beat writers are embedded and are generally have a good idea of which way the wind is blowing with their respective teams. Although with Washington, new owners, new GM, new coach, don't really know. But Jane Daniels, I feel like, is box office enough for Magic Johnson and the commies. 3. So what's interesting now is that 3, the Patriots stick and pick and take Drake May. Now, Mike Reese has been very adamant that they're not going to trade the pick unless they get just a redonkulous offer. And then also the Cardinals stick and pick at 4 and get Harrison Jr. Now, Seifert goes into... So they can trade in these mock drafts, and Seifert said that he was trying to get some business done. So this is Seifert, who's not Carl Gerbschmidt. Start with the Patriots at 3, offering 11, 23, and also the 2025 first rounder. He said no. But my only option was to add a premium player, but I didn't think the Vikings would trade one. Justin Jefferson or Christian Darrisaw. May we interest you in our finest Lewis scenes? Or Andrew Booth Jr.'s. So the Patriots sticked and picked and took Drake May at 3. Seifert then at 4 with Arizona, offered 11, 23 and the 2025 third rounder. Josh Weinfuss, turned it down and wanted a third first-round pick. So they wanted the Patriots deal, essentially. I didn't think it was likely Vikings would package number 1, blah, 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 blah. So the Vikings eventually did get up to number 5 in this mock draft, getting a deal done, taking JJ McCarthy in this spot. And then Seifert went on to continue. He had reason to believe that Jordan Renan would take McCarthy at 6 for the Giants, so he had to leapfrog them there. I didn't want to worry about waiting for Michael Penix number 11. Would I have to fend off the Broncos or Raiders in a trade-up? And I think that is certainly possible, where if the Vikings want to wait out on Michael Penix Jr. and say that McCarthy goes to the Giants at 6, so 7, 8, 9, 10, I feel like that's prime real estate for the Broncos and or Raiders to jump up and potentially take Penix. So I feel like if the Vikings draft a quarterback at 11, they're going to have to trade up in some fashion. Now, whether it's into the top 3, 4, 5 for either May, Daniels, or McCarthy, or 7, 8, 9, 10 for Penix. That's how it feels right now. Plus, you know for a fact that the Bears would just love to screw over the Vikings and do a deal with the Broncos or the Raiders and give them a quarterback as well as pick up some draft capital. So they could leverage that one pretty good. So if I found a deal with the Chargers, blah, blah, blah. Vikings get a future starter, McCarthy without total mortgaging the future. May Daniels were accessible, blah, blah, blah. So in this spot, the Vikings offer 11, 23, so 2 first rounders, 108, the first fourth rounder, and a third in 2025 to get to 5. I would take that. I would do that deal. And I know that, why are you doing this deal for quarterback 4? This is not your normal quarterback draft, right? So, quarterback 4 in 2021 was who? So that was Pickett, that was Ritter, that was Willis. This is not the same. Like JJ McCarthy in a lot of years would be a top 2 quarterback, and I understand, is he a system guy? Is he a game manager? That's fine. And he's 21. He has all the traits. He can sit for a year. He can grow and show, and he is extremely coachable. Now, the comps are there between, is he a high-end Kirk Cousins? Is he a high-end Brock Purdy? Sure. But guess what? You could win with that, especially with all the pieces that the Vikings do have in place. Now, I believe that McCarthy does have a decent ceiling, but is it as high as Daniels? Is it as high as May or Williams? No, it isn't. But that's also why they're going a little bit earlier. is what Seifert wrote. Trade was the cheapest way to ensure the Vikings got a first-round quarterback and true successor to Kirk Cousins. They used substantial draft capital but preserved their 2025 first-round pick. Offers for number 3 and 4, which include 3 first-round picks, blah, blah, blah. Absent the deal, McCarthy could have gone as early as number 6 to the Giants, which would have left the Vikings competing for the 5th quarterback of the draft as they're at their original number 11 spot. In terms of coaching and personnel, McCarthy lands in the best spot for all the first-round passers. And it is true because, you do look at Williams landing in Chicago, the place where quarterbacks go to die. 2, the commies. There's a lot of questions with the commies. That offensive line is very soft. It's marshmallowy. Receivers, I mean, you got Scary Terry and, okay. You have Austin Eckler. And then the Patriots, I mean, outside of Onwenu, like, what are you really thrilled about? Great. So obviously McCarthy lands in the best spot, and also the fact that he doesn't have to start, whereas May with the Patriots, even though they have Jabroni Brisket, and Daniels with the Commies, even though they have Mariota, and the Bears, I mean, they have Tyson Bagent. I mean, all three of those guys are likely going to be significant starters their rookie year, which may not be good for their development. But the Vikings go up and get their guy. Renan takes Neighbors, Alt, blah, blah, blah. Dunze, Cronin takes at 9. That's a fantastic get for them. So, I mean, they really are building around Caleb Williams. Justin Fields should be pissed. That's all. Jets taking Brock Bowers, Latham going to the Chargers. So they're able to trade down and get a true mountain of a man to right tackle. They can keep Rashawn Slater left tackle. They're going to be good to go there. The Broncos don't even take Penix. Well, where'd Penix go? Penix did not go in the first round. So maybe we could have sticked and picked and just took him at 11. But it is what it is. You don't know what you don't know. All right, so the Broncos take Dallas Turner. Oh, kind of like that pick, man. Talisa Fuaga goes to the Raiders. Fashanu goes to the Saints. The Colts stick and pick and take Quinion Mitchell. That's fantastic for them on the outside. Seahawks taking Fatanu, keeping him in Seattle. I feel like that's a very popular selection. And the Seahawks definitely need something along the offensive line, but also don't rule out a front 7 defender with Mike McDonald. Jaguars, Terry Arnold. Murphy goes to the Bengals. The Wolves just won 105-93. Suck it. The Rams getting Jared Verse. So no 3-tech in this spot, but I feel like I just feel like in my bones with Verse and company. I mean, that's not a bad pass rush that they're starting to put together out there in LA. Steelers get a true blue center in JPJ, really going to solidify that offensive line in front of Justin Fields. We'll see. The Dolphins, Johnny Newton helping to replace Christian Wilkins. That makes sense. Tyler Guyton goes to the Eagles. Now that's interesting. So with Johnson and Malata there, I mean, do you kick Guyton inside for a hot second, and then eventually he takes over for Lane on the right side? It's possible. Chargers taking BTJ. So, I mean, the Chargers, they get the best of both worlds. First off, Harbaugh betroths his football son, JJ McCarthy, to the Vikings, which is a great spot for him, even though the Vikings and Harbaugh have history. And the Chargers, so they get Fuaga, and also they get BTJ in the receiving room. That's really good. That's really good, man. The Cowboys taking Graham Barton. It feels like the Cowboys are going O-line in this spot. Cooper DeShawn goes to Packers. We talked about how that's just perfect. Chop going to the Bucks, although I feel like there's other options there for the Bucks. Yeah. Wiggins goes to Arizona, so they get Harrison and a true shutdown corner. I like it. Xavier Worthy goes to the Bills. He's fast. Lions picking up Kool-Aid. That's pretty common pick too. So the Lions get some help in the secondary. They definitely need that after cutting ties with Sutton. And then the Ravens getting Mims, that we talked about. I don't believe in Ronnie Stanley, but Mims comes in at right tackle right away. Darius Robinson. That is gross. That is this, like, how the F did the Niners just add Darius Robinson to their front 7? I hate it. I hate it because it's such a good fit. But should they go O-line? I know that Kingsley Sumataya is a really popular pick. Rosengarten too, sure. And A.D. Mitchell goes to the Chiefs, where the Chiefs just love questionable wide receivers. I don't know what it is with Rashee Rice and Tony. I don't know. But they go with A.D. Mitchell in this spot. But the most important part is the Vikings do make a move up and they secure their quarterback of the future. It's a great spot for McCarthy. He doesn't have to start right away. Can grow and show with McCown and Kevin O'Connell. And also the fact that the Vikings did not give up the future first, it's fantastic. It's really fantastic. So, Kevin Seifert, who again is not Carl Gerbschmidt, you did good. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Anyways, your thoughts are thoughts. ESPN's Nation annual mock draft. Vikings get their guy or a guy. Some guy. Listen to your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.